everyone, welcome back to our Joseki series. I'm Ryan, and today we'll talk about more Josekis for 5 to 6 dan players. So we will continue this time with large Avalanche. So from last time we talked about some variations here, so let's start from the beginning. We have a 3-4 point, the high approach, black attaches, white pushes and highs, then black extends, white extends, and black hane. So this is the start for the large Avalanche, just for a recap. Then white ataris and descends. So no problems there. Last video we went through some variations for the cut and the outer turn. Now we will talk about the inside turn. This was actually a move invented by Joseki when he was studying the local variations here. So then white cuts and then exchanges the corner and then descends. So you might wonder, why do we have to exchange that? Well, it's because when white descends, then black could block here. And now the corner is dead, so the outside it would be difficult for white to handle. So white turns first and then descends. So after that, it forces black to make this exchange. Now we can see why black wants to make this exchange in the corner. Because without this exchange, then later, if white plays here, black is actually dead locally. The difference, so we can see that when black blocks, white pulls back, and now it's 2 versus 3 liberties. The difference with this exchange is that after white plays here, and black blocks, black could capture the corner by either playing here or here. This is more preferred because after the hane there's still a throw-in. So this is the correct move. So because of this exchange, now white is short in liberties. So this turn is very important. And after that, white has a few options. Actually, the incorrect move is to atari directly, because after the atari, black would extend it towards the center. And now when white jumps, black ataris, this is a very uncomfortable shape. And now white has to fix the wedge by this bamboo shape, and then black jumps, and then goes towards the center. So black has, so later, we can see this. So these are some pretty nice co-threads for white, but we can see this as this result. So later when white connects, so white could extend one, and then connect, then black ataris. So black has just over 10 points in there, but white has a bit less. And these two shapes, it seems that black is in a better position than white. So, and that's all because this black got this atari and this became a bad shape. So instead of atari directly, what could white do? So instead, actually the correct move for white is to extend here. And what white is trying to do is to get that exchange. And now when white ataris and black extends, now because we got that exchange, when white jumps here, this is a very nice I shape, and this shape becomes complete. Now, which would benefit a lot for white in a later fight. So when white extends, black doesn't want to answer directly. Instead, black connects here. After connecting, if white descends here or turns, then black would hane in the corner. Now these 3 stones are dead, because if white plays here, black descends here, and there's not enough liberties there. So there's actually a very nice tsuji, which is hane first. After this hane is direct sente, so black has to block. Locally it's not good, but after the hane, white can now turn. If black still wants to capture the corner, this leaves later, so white would play here now, which leaves a ko later in the corner. This is a one-step ko in favor for black, but this is a huge burden because all of the corner depends on this. So white has to play here in order for it to be a direct ko. So black does not want to capture the corner as a result, because it leaves a huge burden later, and black would have to spend another move just to capture the corner completely. So instead, black captures the 3 stones and settles, and white captures the 4 stones on top. It might look like white captured more stones, but actually this is a relatively even result, because both players have similar amount of territory. And also, black has more influence, because there is still a lot of aji on these 3 stones here. And things like hane would all be sente. So this is a very common end result here. And this would be one of the variations definitely to remember. So when black connects, there's also an option for white to take the lower side as well. And when white does that, black could turn first. White would have to extend now. And then black would come back to this side. So after that, white still has to protect this, because again, remember these vital points. If black is able to get this, it really ruins white's shape. So white takes this, and black extends on top. Now white plays here, black blocks, and white plays here. So these exchanges are important right now, because white needs to decide whether he wants to extend or not. So after these exchanges, black would play here, white would extend one, and then connect. So this is sort of a probe move. If black connects directly, then I will jump or extend. But if black cuts, then he doesn't have to respond there, but white is already alive, because taking is sente. So after this result, black shoulder hits, and white would hane. So white doesn't want to play here directly, because then black would get this hane, and this shape is very short on liberties. So before jumping out, white hanes, black closes, then jumps, and then white escapes this way. So this is another very common end result for the larger avalanche in a turn. So black has about 10 points in the corner, and a group in the center. White has a group there, and an alive shape on this side. A trick for black to do here is actually to extend here first when white extends there. So this is a forcing move. White has to defend here. After that, black could extend here. So black is trying to get a lot more than what happens in Joseki. Now so in the corner locally, if white descends, and if black extends and white blocks, this corner, black is actually locally dead, because white has this move. And the viewers, you can verify that on your own, but right now there's something wrong on the outside. So when black cuts, the outside, because of this stone, is too weak. So instead, white could push here and cut. So after a few exchanges, white can get some sente moves on top, which could protect that upper side. So this is actually another result that you might have seen in Joseki books. So the point here is, after these exchanges, all of these moves are sente and forcing moves on this center. So now white could descend here and capture this group. So we talked about some of the common josekis for the inner turn, but I want to make a point here, and this is the newer variations. So when black turns and white cuts, we said that when white descends and when black plays here, that this is bad for white because black does not have to exchange this before capturing the corner. But actually instead, white could turn, and this is a sente move, black has to play here. This turn is very important because afterwards, when white blocks, the corner becomes very small, and white can get control on the right side. So after that, then white could protect here. So if black simply connects, then when white blocks, so white could exploit a sente move here, and then block. Then black would Atari. And this result is interesting. So it seems like it's good for black because black captured these and these, right? But actually, there's less than 20 points in the corner. And on the other hand, white is able to develop on the right side, and this stone can be quite useful as well. So actually, this result is the general belief is that it's a bit better for white, actually. So what did black go wrong here? So in the end, it's actually this connecting move that was too slow. But if black blocks here, then white could turn in sente and then Atari. Believe it or not, there's still no real conclusion on this, but white could still net black and gain a lot on the outside. So this is the more complicated version, but I think in general, when white descends directly, it seems that more of the results are better for white. So this is why you see that in pro games, the inside turn is less common nowadays. And this is the reason. So the inner turn, we went through a couple of variations after white cuts and turns on the inside, or more better, just to simply descend. So be careful when choosing these variations, and if you're comfortable as black, you should turn on the outside. So here is all the variations for the large avalanche. If you have any questions about today's Joseki problems, leave us a comment below and go to our website. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe below. I am Ryan Lee. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.